I married a man decades older than me, and apparently, the whole world had an opinion. Gold digger. She's just in it for the money. Daddy issues. The names and the stares just became normal. I've seen the anonymous comments online, felt the judgment from across a restaurant, and even heard the whispers from people I thought were my friends. But what the world doesn't know is the real story. Our story. And today, I'm finally ready to tell it. This isn't just about setting the record straight. It's about taking back a narrative that was never mine and talking about what love actually looks like when you stop letting society write the rules for you. Before he was my husband, he was just a guy I met at a charity auction. I wasn't there looking for a date. I was there because I'm passionate about art and the cause. I run a small graphic design agency, and I donated my services for the event's promotional materials. I remember just being completely lost in a painting when he walked up beside me. He didn't try a pickup line or comment on how I looked. He just asked me what I thought the artist was trying to say. For the next hour, we didn't talk about jobs, or money, or our ages. We talked about art, the stories behind the brushstrokes, and how we both believed creativity could actually make a difference. It was instant, this meeting of minds that felt so rare and electric. He was brilliant, funny, and deeply passionate. For the first time in I don't know how long, I felt completely seen for who I was, not what I looked like. Our first few dates were exactly like that. We hit up museums, found these obscure little jazz clubs, and spent hours in a bookstore arguing about our favorite authors. We discovered a shared love for historical biographies and a mutual, deep-seated hatred for cilantro. It was all the little things, the slow burn of getting to know someone's soul, that made me fall in love with him. His age was a fact, like the color of his eyes, but it wasn't the headline. The headline was the connection. The respect. The feeling of coming home to a person who just got me. People assume relationships like ours are transactional, but ours was built on conversation and shared values, a bond that had absolutely nothing to do with a balance sheet. The second we decided to get married, the story changed. It wasn't our love story anymore. It became a public spectacle, and I got a new name, Gold Digger. It's a term with a long, ugly history, basically designed to shrink a woman's worth down to her bank account. And I was its latest target. Friends pulled me aside, asking if I was sure. His family, while polite, kept me at a distance, their eyes filled with a suspicion that was louder than any word. The internet, of course, was way worse. Strangers felt they had a right to dissect my life, my character, my every motive. The comments painted me as an opportunist trading my youth for a credit card. It's a nasty, persistent stereotype that erases any chance of genuine affection or intellectual connection in relationships like ours. And let's be real, this stereotype is almost always aimed at the woman. Society might be more accepting of an older man with a younger woman than the other way around, but even then, the woman is seen as a villain or a victim. I wasn't a person anymore, I was a caricature they created. They saw a number, our age difference, and his success, and they drew a conclusion that was simple, cynical, and dead wrong. It was exhausting. It was painful. It makes you build walls and constantly feel like you have to prove your own heart is real. Some couples try to laugh it off, but ignoring the judgment doesn't make it disappear. The only way through it is to face it. Here's the part the critics always skip, my life. Before I ever met my husband, I was already building a life I was proud of. I put myself through design school by juggling scholarships and waiting tables. I launched my own graphic design business from a tiny apartment, working nights and weekends to build it from the ground up. I was, and I still am, financially independent. My success isn't on his scale, but it's mine. I earned it. The whole gold digger label assumes the younger woman brings nothing to the table but her looks. It's a deeply misogynistic idea that says a woman's only value is her youth and that she can't have her own ambitions. I am a partner in this marriage, not a dependent. We make financial decisions together. I contribute to our home, not just with money, but with my skills, my perspective, and my own dreams. My work gives me purpose. My friends, my hobbies, they all existed before him and they're still thriving. A real partnership, no matter the age, isn't about one person saving the other. It's about two whole people choosing to build something new together. What the gossips don't get is that my life isn't an extension of his. It's a life that's been made richer by him, just as I hope his has been by me. Our partnership is a merger, not an acquisition. My worth isn't tied to his bank account, and our relationship isn't a transaction. It's built on mutual respect. So, why does our marriage work? It's not about the money, and it's not in spite of the age gap. In some ways, it works because of it. People talk about the obvious perks like emotional maturity, but the real benefits go deeper. I fell for a man who has truly lived. He brings a calm and a perspective to our relationship that keeps me grounded. He's already navigated challenges I haven't even thought of yet, and his wisdom is a source of strength for both of us. He doesn't sweat the small stuff, because he knows what actually matters: kindness, integrity, and showing up for the people you love. In return, I bring a different energy. I'm the one pushing him to try new restaurants, travel to places he's never considered, and stay connected to what's new in the world. We learn from each other. Our different generational views spark the most fascinating conversations and challenge us both to see things differently. One of the biggest myths about age gap relationships is that the older partner holds all the power. In our marriage, we're a team. He respects my opinion as his equal, and he values my perspective precisely because it isn't always the same as his. Our relationship works because of communication, shared values, and a deep, abiding respect, the same things that make any relationship successful. I asked my husband what he'd say to all the people who judge us. He put it pretty simply: when I was younger, I was so focused on building a career that I don't think I really got what a partnership meant. I dated people who were appropriate, who fit a mold, but it was all on the surface. When I met you, I felt a connection that had nothing to do with life stages or what society expected. I met someone who challenged me, who made me laugh, and who saw me for who I am right now, not who I was 20 years ago. People see an old man with a young woman. I see the woman I love. If they think my money is what keeps her here, then they're underestimating her. And frankly, they're underestimating me. Look, I don't want to paint a perfect picture. Relationships with a big age gap have their own unique challenges. We've had to deal with disapproval from family and friends, and that's incredibly hard. It takes a united front and a lot of patience to show people that your love is real. We're also in very different life stages. While my career is still growing, he's thinking about slowing down. That requires constant, honest communication about what we both want for the future. And we have to be realistic. The elephant in the room is always health and aging. We know that as he gets older, our dynamic will change. A day will likely come when I become his caregiver. We've had the tough, awkward conversations about this. It's a reality we've chosen to face together, with our eyes wide open. I've read that marital satisfaction in age gap couples can sometimes decline more rapidly when faced with health issues or other hardships. But knowing that doesn't scare us, it prepares us. It reminds us to cherish the time we have now and to build a foundation so strong it can handle whatever comes next. It's not a fairy tale, it's a real-life partnership. And that means embracing the hard parts with just as much love as the easy ones. This is my story, but I know I'm not the only one. The world is full of people who've been judged because their love didn't fit in a neat little box. If you've ever faced that, I'd be honored if you shared your experience in the comments. Let's create a space where love, in all its forms, is celebrated, not scrutinized. Breaking my silence has been terrifying, but it's also been incredibly freeing. For years, I let the whispers and stereotypes define me. I let them make me feel small and ashamed. But I am not a stereotype. I am a woman who fell in love with an extraordinary man. Our story isn't about money, it's about connection. Age is just a number. It's not a measure of someone's heart or the potential for love. Real love is found in shared laughter, in quiet support, and in the courage to choose your own happiness. So, live your life, love fiercely, and never, ever let the fear of what other people might say stop you from finding it. Thanks for listening. And if you'd like to follow more of our journey, please subscribe.